Yeah, so as you can tell by the thumbnail, trailering is taking a toll on the old beast here. But without further ado, my name is Rick. Welcome back to the Taco Rick channel, Tacoma channel for all you people out there, or just Toyota in general, because if you saw my Tundra video, I'm looking at getting one of those Tundras, and I already actually haven't made a video on it, but I've already talked to my boy up at my local Toyota dealership, and he's already got me down for one of the first people. Basically, I think he said I'm like second or third on the list that wants the Tundra. So, coming soon. Anyways, saw the thumbnail. That trailer down there, that's my 12x6 enclosed trailer, which is beefed out to the max with like 3/4 inch floors and half walls. It's basically the heaviest version of that you can get. All the bells and whistles. And I tow it with my Tacoma back here. My 2020 Tacoma TRD off-road with a 3-inch lift. That is the N3 lift from Rough Country. I'm not gonna tell you right now, it is not by any means necessary the lift's fault for this. It could be a little bit, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it could be, but the part that failed is the leaf springs, which are the OEM leaf springs. If you go on any Tacoma forum, for anybody that has a Tacoma and does a lot of towing and hauling like I do, I probably put like 30,000 miles now towing that beast right there with this truck, and it has taken its toll. My leaf springs by no means are bent the wrong way. They are definitely flat. That exhaust needs replaced too. We got an exhaust sitting in the box. But anyways, just wanted to show you guys what the current OEM springs are, and I noticed this the other day when I went to unhook the trailer down there, and I was like, this seems to be relatively a lot closer to the ground than it used to be. And I do have a hitch extension back on this with a 6-inch hitch drop. It was, I measured it, it's only 11 inches between the bottom and the top, and it used to be 13. So I've had, the leaf springs now have sagged 2 inches. We need to fix that, and we're gonna fix that with these bad boys right here. These are the old EMU heavy duty 2.75, I think, or 2.5 inch lifted struts or leaf springs. These things are beefy, and these are the heavy duty versions. So these are the heavier dutier ones. They make a light duty for comfort, and they make the heavy duty ones. These right here are the heavy duty bad boys. These things weigh quite a bit. And then I have some new bushings for the leaf springs as well when we install them. But these bad boys right here, they thick. We got 2 thick ones down here, and then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leaf packs on top of that. The OEM ones, of course, I have a block down here. Right there is the block with the N3 strut, but as you can see right there, we have a measly 4 leaves in the OEM spring, and they just can't do it. They just cannot do it. And for anyone wondering, this truck now, I believe I'm closing in on 100,000 miles now on this suspension. On the 2018, I had this exact same Rough Country N3 suspension. Yes, Rough Country. I put 30,000 miles on that truck with this suspension lift on it. The struts, the blocks, everything, they're the exact same ones that were on the 2018. I literally ripped them off when the truck got totaled. Go watch those videos. But I ripped them off and installed them on this truck when this truck only had 118 miles. And we're closing in, I'm like probably 200 miles away from 50,000 miles on this truck now, which is insane. The suspension still handles like day one. If anything, my tires need replaced. They're getting to that point. But anyways, we need to jump into replacing these leaf springs. So I'm gonna break out the jack. We're gonna jack up the back of the truck. We're gonna get the back wheels off, and we're gonna start disassembling the current rear end suspension so that we can install these leaf springs before I run out of daylight. We can really see the bend in the leaf springs. Check that out. I would actually argue those are bent backwards now. They are definitely in need of replacing though. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put some jack stands now on this side so that way we can lower the weight down onto some jack stands, and then we're gonna basically remove our U-bolts, and we're gonna replace this. So the beauty of the new leaf springs is actually I don't need this block anymore to raise the rear end up to match the front. So the new leaf springs will actually replace all of this, and it'll actually be perfect. It'll be great. But man, look at that exhaust that needs to be replaced. You can tell I've been meaning to clean this thing, but haven't done it in a while. I'm gonna go get those jack stands, put the jack stands underneath of it, and get this thing all good to go so that we can lower it down and start working on disassembling all of this. Well, the first step for me is going to remove these 4 lug nuts, 22mm socket, deep dish. I'm gonna remove all those, and then that'll loosen up this so I can drop the axle down enough to be able to get in there and start messing with everything else. Then we'll have to disconnect with these bolts out here. I'm not entirely sure how big those are, but there's one there. We'll need to replace both of those. Alright, with that done, we're moving on to removing the 2 bolts that hold the leaf spring into place. and both those are 19 millimeters on both sides. So I got a 19 millimeter open-ended wrench and a 19 millimeter deep socket for the impact. We're gonna take those off. One bolt out, that was a bitch. Moving on. So just to point out to you guys, because I was a little confused as well, you need to take the bottom bolt out. You can't take this one out because of that back plate over there, but we need to take the bottom bolt out here, and that's what will allow us to remove this leaf spring, and then we will take that apart and attach it to the new leaf spring, the little extender, riser, whatever you want to call it right there, and we'll replace the bushings while we're at it. Also, I was looking, you probably will have to drop the spare tire as well to be able to take the bolt out on the back side. So those are two things to keep in mind. We will be taking the bottom bolt out, and we will probably need to lower this tire, which you'll probably see in the video as we do it. So I'm gonna get started on that. Here's a bolt right here for the emergency brake. You need to take that bolt off. It looks to be a 10 millimeter. Another tip, put all your bolts together, keep them together. All right, with the old leaf spring removed, we now need to transfer this bushing setup right here and take the old bushing out as well and put it onto the new leaf springs in there, which I'm gonna bring it out. And you might have noticed I did not remove the strut, and I'm kind of regretting that. So I'm going to go ahead and take the top portion of the strut off. That way we can lay it off to the side to get the new leaf spring in, and then I'll reinstall it. That ain't gonna work because I have to remove the bottom and the top, because if it swings out of the way, it won't come back on the right. It won't work. We're gonna attempt to leave it like it is and put the new leaf spring in. I was able to get the old one out. We'll see if I can get the new one in. Did want to point out, this is the block that came with the Rough Country lift kit. We are no longer gonna need that because those, if you can see over there, are just as big as this with the block. There's the old one, there's the block, and there is what the new one is. It's literally the exact same thickness as you can see there. The block literally comes right up to where basically 3 leaves are going to be. Plus it's got way more curve to it. So yeah, now we got to install the bushings here. So I already kind of like put 2 of them together with the sleeves, grease them, and put a little, I don't even know what you call that. It's basically a riser on the back. Put that on the back. I did want to point out, because it's something that I was struggling with, what direction do these go in? The plus sign goes to the front of the truck. That might be common knowledge to some of you guys. It wasn't to me. But you can also see on the old one, the plus sign is also to the front. So plus sign goes to the front of the truck. I'm going to work on greasing all that up, and then we can install it. So one other thing before I get too far into this, the old Man EMU ones that I bought off of Extreme Terrain, which do not come with the bushings, which wasn't a big deal. I went ahead and bought some other ones. They're cheap, they're on Amazon. These ones are red. Goes with kind of the red theme of the truck, the red halos on the front if you haven't seen it before. But I did want to point out the different types. So there's 2 different types here. There is this curved beveled one and a flat one. All of the flat ones go on the rear. There are 4 of them that go in the upper 2, or whoops, you can't see. The upper 2, basically upper parts, and the bottom. Those are where the flat ones go. The smaller ones, these right here, they go into the front. There, like so, and we need to grease. So they send you 3 different things of grease with little pull tabs. We're gonna grease the sleeves right here. Slide the sleeves in. We got some persuasion here to do that, and you guys will watch me do that here in a sec. After about an hour of persuasion, I got the old bushing out. Note to self, that's a bitch. Combination of a bunch of pliers, WD-40, and hammers, and then I got it out. Now back to installing it. Alright, so we moved on to the other side. As you can tell, it got dark. And I'm struggling a little bit with this process. Basically, the other side is loosely held together because I need to raise or lower this side down to be able to make sure the axles straighten everything when I secure the U-bolts. So I've taken this leaf spring out. I realize I have rock lights that could have helped a lot with seeing where I need to be. But I just put the bushings in this one along with the shackle on the back side. Now we're gonna put this side back in. Screw it all in, make sure it's lined up correctly, tighten everything down, put the wheels on, and we're done. I say that, but it's a lot. I actually did have to lower the tire though for this side to get it out. There's a lot involved in this that I didn't assume, so don't assume. Alright, everything on both sides has been snugged up. now it's time to take a torque wrench and torque everything down. I know that I need to put the U-bolts to 110 to 120 foot-pounds, and the other bolts, the other ones up here and up here, I'm going to put them at 100 foot-pounds torque, and that should be plenty for this setup. So I'm going to go ahead for the torque wrench, torque everything down, slap the wheels on, and I'm done. So as you can tell, the video got really late, and this is actually literally like a month later, maybe 2 months later. I'm not even entirely sure when I actually put the leaf springs on, because it has been incredibly busy in my life lately with the company, the growth of the company, handling the growth, and everything else that's coming with doing house projects and this yard project and sprinklers and you name it. It's been crazy, and I need to get back into organization. Currently right now we are in late December. Christmas is next week, so happy Christmas to all you guys and happy New Year's, and thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. I am trying to restructure a lot of things going into the holidays here for next year to make it easier and better for me to film videos and film content, like the fact that I bought an exhaust for this truck in January of 2021, and now we're about to start 2022. So there's that. But anyways, leaf springs are in. Been riding them for a while. They're awesome. Like the video, comment, subscribe, all that, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.